2 games into the postseason, the Brewers are already digging into their bag of tricks with an opener in Game 2. We'll tell you about what that pitching lineup might look like against the Cubs on Monday night. That's next here on Locked On Brewers.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
It is great talking Milwaukee Brewers baseball in October. I never take it for granted that I get to talk Brewers here on a daily basis. Chuck Freimund, longtime sportscaster here in the state of Wisconsin and a Brewer fan forever. This is the only place I've ever lived, the great state of Wisconsin. And I've been through a lot of ups and a lot of downs with the Milwaukee Brewers, mostly downs, but hopefully that is changing this year here in 2025. Hopefully, right? We got a long way to go, even after taking Game 1. You know that. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. New customers, you bet $5. Your bet wins. You get $300 in bonus bets. Use across the app at FanDuel. Download it today. All right, the pitching in Game 2. Who's going to start and who's going to possibly foul after that? We'll get into that. Churio, hamstring gate is going on in the state of Wisconsin. Is he or is he not going to play? Tell you about what he did in his workout on Sunday. And the Brewers will be facing yet another lefty in Game 2 of this series. The Cubs throwing out a lefty. All right, Aaron Ashby. I'm a little surprised they're going with an opener, but then again, I'm a little not surprised because with the Brewers and their bag of tricks, who knows why? I think they're going with Aaron Ashby as their opener because I feel like they're going to use Priester twice in this series for a Game 2 and a Game 5. Now, it's still up in the air whether or not Priester, what we're told, if Priester's going to be following suit with Ashby. Now, we assume Priester's going to be the guy, but if the Brewers get off to the big lead, could they piece things together a little bit? That's asking a lot to get off to a big lead 2 games in a row. But I don't know. If that happened, let's say he got out to and I shouldn't be fantasizing like this. Let's say they got out to a 7-0 lead right off the bat, first couple of innings. I know it's not going to be as easy as the other night, but I don't know. Maybe you'll rest Priester for another day. But I think Priester's your guy. Ashby is coming in to get some of those lefties out for the Cubs. They don't want Michael Busch leading off the game with a home run, so they'll throw a lefty at him. PCA, he bats 7th in the lineup, so Ashby may not get to him anyway. At least we hope so, not in the first inning anyway. Kyle Tucker, another lefty. Priester in to get Kyle Tucker out as well. So I should say Ashby in to get Kyle Tucker out as well. So Ashby, your opener. He's opened 1 time so far this year for the Brewers. Now, I know I'm not a big guy when it comes to reinventing the wheel. And I sort of feel like when I got the news that Ashby was the opener today, was down there with the workouts with the Milwaukee Brewers today. When I got the news that Ashby was going to be the opener, my first thought was, here we go, trying to reinvent the wheel already. Now, if Ashby comes in, is the opener, and he sets the side down 1-2-3 in the first inning, great. Murphy looks like the genius, right? If it doesn't work, well, you know what happens after that. So, yeah, I feel like when you think out of the box a little bit, when things do work, you look incredible. But if they don't, you look like the village idiot, right? So, that works like that in all sports, right? These managers or coaches, that's what they get paid the big bucks for, is making decisions like this. And Murphy made a bold one here, going with Aaron Ashby. Now, Ashby, a couple of times he has not pitched well in the postseason. Okay, he did well on Saturday, but, last year was not very good in Game 4 against the Mets. 2021, way back then, he pitched poorly against Atlanta. I'm not going to hold those against him, but the Brewers have done so well with Priester on the hill. 19-game winning streak, right? 19-game winning streak during the regular season. That to me, why would you use anybody else to start a game, right? Guys won 19 in a row for me. he had that long stretch after an initial stumble back in May to be great. I mean, he's 13-3. I don't know, a little unconventional. But there was a couple of times this year, obviously, when DL Hall opened up for Priester. There was a couple of times there. But I mean, I think Priester has just settled into that starting role with the Brewers. I don't know. I'm a little worried about going with an opener. I'm not saying the Brewers are going to lose. I think if something is working well for you, you don't necessarily have. I think sometimes you overthink yourself. And I'm not. Murphy's won 97 games. He's got the pulse of his team. Okay. He knows. So a lot of thought went into this. Obviously, he's been this was not that he woke up on Sunday morning and said, Aaron Ashby's my guy. They've been thinking about this. They've known this for a long time. Murphy may say that, well, we didn't know who was going to pitch. BS to that. We know that. I mean, they all know. But Ashby this year has been great. 2.16 earned run average. And it'll be great against the Cub lefties, hopefully, as well. But a little bit of a bold move, I think. You don't want to dig yourself in an early hole. The Brewers, by winning game 1, they don't have any cushion. When you win 2 straight games in a postseason, you put your opponent really on the fence. You do. And I'm not saying the Brewers are by any means mailing this in. But obviously every playoff victory is huge. But when you have a chance to sink the Cubs on Monday night, make them come back from an 0-2 hole, right? I mean, the Brewers, 2011, Arizona, they put Arizona in an 0-2 hole, and the Brewers didn't win that one until Morgan's walk-off base hit. As Axford blew a save in that game. I don't even want to think about getting to a game 5. I want to win game 2, but this is the route they're going to go. Ashby. And you like to think Priester, nothing set in stone, but I'm thinking Priester's the guy. I mean, conventional wisdom would think that. Again, Priester's had an opener with Hall earlier in this year. And Ashby has opened 1 time. I'm confident the Brewers are going to win this game. I am confident. I'm a little worried, though, thinking outside with Ashby. Yep. First, I got that news. I got that over. Oh, Aaron Ashby is going to be the game 2 starter. I'm like, okay. Leaves it up in the air who the game 3 starter is. But obviously, again, Murph wants those lefties out. He doesn't want to start the game with Bush going Yahtzee again. All right. Doesn't want to start it. And Tucker. So he's got a couple of big outs. So we'll see how long Ashby is going to go. And who is next? Who could follow suit there? I mean, if you have Ashby and then Priester, depending how long Priester goes, and you like to think he's going to go a long way, who would be next up? Who would be the third guy up? Patrick? Would the Miz be in there? Gasser, who's a surprise, I think, to be on this postseason roster. Really a surprise since he didn't look good his last regular season outing. Interesting. I am so curious to see how they're going to piece that together on Monday night. So curious to see how they're going to piece that together. But, hey, like I said, when all season long, when Murphy is putting out the Sunday lineups, we used to question it. After a while, I said, man, can't question anything. What is going to be the 2-time National League Manager of the Year, what he's doing. Because he's pushed all the buttons so far. And we got to do in Murphy we trust right here. All right, coming up next, we'll tell you about Churio. Kind of workout he got on Sunday at AmFam Field. The team worked out at the ballpark. We'll tell you about that. And the latest on his injury. All that and more coming up next here on Locked On Brewers. Locked On Brewers is brought to you in part by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. NFL season alive and kicking. FanDuel's got an offer you don't want to miss. New customers, you bet $5, $300 you'll get if that $5 bet wins. Right, pick a bet, any bet. That bet hits, You'll unlock $300. It'll be going right into your account. You can use it anywhere you want on the app, but live plays, whatever, tennis, I don't know, whatever you want to bet it on. It's all there for you on FanDuel. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. You're going to love their live betting. Their live betting is fantastic. It's easy to use. It's not a confusing site. You know, some of these sites out there will say very confusing and very hard to maneuver around. Not with FanDuel. It is really easy to use. Really, really easy to use. And especially, I love their live betting. So right now, again, new customers, $5. You win that bet, you'll get $300 in bonus bets when you win that $5 bet. So again, go to FanDuel.com, download the FanDuel app today, and get started today. Chuck Freimund here on Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. This is part of the show where I tell you how much I appreciate you guys. And, you know, this time of the year as well, playoff time, we're getting a lot of eyeballs that's coming onto the podcast, a lot of ears listening in. Our traffic has increased a lot. And I thank all you guys. If you guys are listening or watching us for our first show, please, I'm not going to say, hey, where you been all year long? The bandwagon is always wide open for you guys, but please subscribe. If you're watching us on YouTube, go to our various platforms. There's a ton of platforms that carry the audio version of the show, Locked On Brewers, Spotify, Google, wherever you download your audio podcast, we're there. And for those of you guys who already got us queued up on the audio version, go to our growing YouTube page. Search Locked On Brewers on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the button there. That alerts you every time we drop an episode on Locked On Brewers, the #1 Brewers podcast on the internet, because of you great Brewers fans out there. And couldn't do without you. Also hit me up on Twitter, Chuck Freimund, Freimund. Anytime you got a question, DM me. I will for sure get back to you. Not going to say I'm going to get back to you as soon as I get it. I may be like on the road or something like that, but you can guarantee you, as everybody knows, I always get back to people. That's my word with it. And of course, if you see me at the ballpark covering a game, which I'll be at all these games, home and a road, please stop and say hello. Chourio, well, whether or not he's going to be in game 2, that's in question. Now, he did some running. He did not take batting practice on Sunday when the team had a workout. He basically went half speed, ran from home plate to first base a few times. Half speed. He didn't go all out. He went about 50% speed on his running of the base paths. Didn't take any fielding, didn't take any BP. So that tells you right there that he didn't take any BP and he didn't take any defensive practice out there in the outfield. That tells you he's not definitely 100%. He didn't recover that quick. Now, Chourio, after the game on Saturday, said, oh, I'll be fine to go and all that. No, if he was fine to go, he would have taken some BP. He would have been in the outfield. So whether or not he plays on Monday, anybody's guess. I'm encouraged, though, that they at least had him out there doing a little running, even though it was 50% running. Okay, just coming off the hammy, I get it. But if he doesn't play, if the Brewers don't have Chourio, the series by any means is not lost. Don't feel deflated if Chourio isn't playing. Sure, you'd love to have him, but Isaac Collins is a Rookie of the Year candidate for a reason. And I know they're facing a lefty, and we're going to get to that in a little while, Imanaga. But I feel just fine with Collins out there. Of course, you'd love to have Chourio, but Collins is a gamer, man. He is, and Perkins too. Yeah, Chourio's a future star in this game. There's no doubt about it. So I would say, if I were to tell you, if I'm going to guess right now, based on what I see with the Milwaukee Brewers, I would guess they're going to not play him Monday, or maybe DH him, and then save him for Wednesday and see if he can go Wednesday. The fact that Counsell's coming back with another lefty tells you that he thinks that the Brewers that Churio's not going to play and that Collins is going to be in the lineup as a left-handed hitter, although Collins is a switch hitter, right? But I feel like with Churio in there hitting against the lefty, right? So I don't know. Imanaga, he's had great numbers against the Brewers. They're going to throw out another lefty against the Brewers. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit. But Churio, I would say right now, my gut feeling is he's not going to play. He's not going to, it's not, I don't feel like he's going to be out for the entire series. I just feel like Monday, they might just rest him. Give him another day, Tuesday, the day off, and then back at Wrigley on Wednesday. That's my gut feeling. We'll see. I hope he plays. But again, season is not lost if he is not in this lineup. Remember, the Brewers won 14 in a row without Churio. I know this is the postseason, but I like the team even with Collins in there. Love the team with Collins. I love what Murphy, his game plan going into game one, be aggressive at the base, at the plate, and they were. Although Perkins working at 11 pitch at bat and then singling, that was a thing of beauty. And that's what the Brewers do. And this is what Council's talking about. They just don't swing. Brewers do swing, but they're not swinging at pitches out of the strike zone. Javi Baez couldn't play for the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers just stay within themselves. But I thought that at bat by Perkins, where he delivered the single on an 11 pitch at bat, that was a thing of beauty. And he's not really a starter. It's a guy coming off the bench with a great glove out there, but even he gets it. And that's why he's one of the fan. Well, I don't know. I'm sure why wouldn't he be a fan favorite, but a fan of Pat Murphy's a big fan of Perky. He always chats him up. Brewers. Saw this from Mike Vasallo, the outstanding media relations director for the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers are 81-17 when they score 4 or more runs. They scored 9 on Saturday, got the W, 81-17 with 4+ runs. Let's keep this thing going. Boy, the rivalry is really being charged up. Saw there were some fights in the stands with Cub fans coming up here. And that's what I told you a couple of podcasts ago. When Brewers fans do not want to face the Cubs, I feel like dealing with the Cub fans is a problem. And there was some problems. Hopefully there's not going to be some problems when the Brewers take game 2 on Monday night. Right? 8:00 start. Long day for some of these guys to fuel up. But it would be so sweet for the Brewers to win this series on a number of reasons. Not only do Wisconsin teams own Illinois teams, but Chicago's always looked at Milwaukee as the little brother. Yet in sports, they don't own any edge over us. We won game 163 there. Packers dominate the Bears. All right. And the Brewers have owned this NL Central Division despite them stealing our manager. Right? They got our manager. Still, we got better. And it would be just as sweet. I love seeing on Twitter when Cub fans turn against their team. They've been doing it all season long. And I know some of you Cub fans are watching this or listening to this podcast. You keep turning on your team. And we're going to continue to frustrate the hell out of the Cubs. The Brewers did it in that first inning on Saturday. Great at bats, and they'll do it again. But yeah, let's hope we don't have any more of that, any more brawls in the stands. We don't need any of that. But Cub fans are going to be a little angry. Saw them on Twitter. If they do lose again, don't take it out on us. As Brewer fans and Brewer supporters, hey, we're just going out there doing our job, following and watching our team. Don't get mad at us because we're not your little brother. All right. Yeah, this Cubs-Brewers rivalry. I saw it on Twitter. 30 years it's been going on. God, I guess so. It's been going on more than half of the Brewers being a franchise. But I remember when the Cubs were in the National League and the Milwaukee was in the American League. As a kid, it was always dream, boy, the Cubs and the Brewers, would they ever play each other in the World Series? Well, in 82 and 83, 82, the Cubs were terrible. Wasn't until 84 they got good, and that was short-lived. And by then, 84, the Brewers had run out of gas from their 82 team. But, yeah, never in my life when I was a kid did I ever think the Cubs and Brewers would be playing each other in a postseason game. Of course, little did I know that they'd be expanding the playoffs either, like they are right now. Some people are coming down on the announcers that were broadcasting the game. I'll say this. The NFL, we deal with the national broadcasters all the time on TV, right? We don't have local announcers on TV. It's all national guys in the NFL. It's the only sport that's like that. Every game is a national broadcaster. Okay. But you get to the playoffs, this is the way it always is. This is the way it is. Maybe they could have an alternate broadcast. I think like ESPN does that for college bowl games in the playoffs. I believe like there's an alternate, let's say Alabama broadcast or Georgia broadcast or Arizona State that you can get on your TV provider. So maybe baseball does that down the road where you can have an alternate broadcast because, Brian Anderson's not broadcasting this series anyway. I think he's doing the Phillies series for TBS. But we get Levering and Rock and Dillard and Vinny Rottino, and they are amazing. We'd rather hear the local guys. I would rather hear the local guys because I think they're great. And plus, I want to hear my guys who've been watching the team all year talk about our team. And some of these national guys, that they have not seen much Brewers baseball. So I get the criticism, but that's just the way it is. And until they have an alternate broadcast with the Brewers broadcasters and the Cubs broadcasters, which is an idea that they should probably take up. All right. We're going to look ahead to game 2 and who's facing the Brewers on the mound. Who the Cubs are going to start. We'll get to that coming up next here on Locked On Brewers. Locked On Brewers brought to you in part by Monarch Money. Our family, we just spend way too much money going out to eat. Although today on Sunday, we didn't go out to eat. Monarch Money is going to tell you we're spending your money. And then it's up to you to take advantage of the advice that they give. 401k, properties, investments. Most people don't know where all their financial accounts are. But with Monarch Money, it's an all-in-one personal finance tool. Brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. You know what? We got busy lives. We got hobbies and all that. Sometimes our finances get lost. That's where Monarch Money comes in. Monarch Money comes in and gives us and tells us where we're spending our money, where our paycheck is going. Now, right now, the offer with monarchmoney.com, use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB in your browser. Go to your browser, go monarchmoney.com, punch in LOCKEDONMLB, and you'll get half off your first year, 50% off your first year with monarchmoney.com. Use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. It'll tell you exactly how your money is spent each and every day with Monarch Money and get your finances in order. Chuck Freimund here on Locked On Brewers. All right, the game 2 starter. Imanaga, another lefty. In Council, it feels like with Terang and Frelick and Yelich, let's throw another lefty at these guys. Imanaga also has had good numbers against the Brewers this year. Last time out, August 21st against the Brewers, 7 innings, 2 earned runs. He's pitched well, I think, in all, the numbers I see, all 3 of the outings against the Brewers, good numbers. But his last outing on August 21st, the best of them all, the 7 innings and 2 earned runs. He did pitch game 2 against San Diego. And that was the only game the Cubs lost to that series with the Padres. Imanaga gets the ball, 32 years old, got good stuff. He has got, it's not good stuff. He's got great stuff. And when he's on, he is on. And he was on when he faced the Brewers. So hopefully the Brewers can get to him. But Imanaga will be the game one starter. The Brewers are a slight favored. They opened up like a minus 125. It has dropped down to minus 118. So the early money coming in on the Chicago Cubs. But that doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter. But the other day, when the Brewers were minus 150 favorites to start the game, by game time, it was minus 130. It dropped 20 points. You think all the smart guys are betting on the Cubs, and the Brewers end up smoking the Cubs. So we'll see what happens again. Again, the Brewers, with winning this game, they can really put Team Lifeless into a Team Lifeless spot. No team wants to get down 0-2. You lose two games in two games in a row in a postseason. That's a death sentence right there. It's hard to come back when you lose two in a row and win a series, whether it's a 7-game set and especially when it's a 5-game set. God, Monday, Brewers need this one. To take a commanding 2-0 lead in the series. I don't even want to say even if they lose, because they got to win this game. Win this game. Think about game 3 Wednesday at Wrigley. But I'm feeling good. A little nervous about the Brewers using Ashby to start this game, going with an opener instead of Priester. I got a good feeling Priester will be the number 2 guy. I don't see why he wouldn't be. Either way, late night, Monday night, tonight, we will talk to you early Tuesday morning. The game starts at 8 o'clock. We'll be dropping this podcast in the middle of the night, talking Brewers baseball with you. Talking Brewers baseball. And we'll be with you every day. Every day, as long as the Brewers are alive. 7 days a week, talking Brewers baseball with you. My name is Chuck Freimund. Thanks for listening. And thanks for watching Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day.